Shabbat Shalom, and welcome to 5 Minutes of Torah with a Beth Israel Rabbi. This is our last Shabbat and our last weekend here in Australia, before we travel to Pittsburgh to spend the beginning of Pesach with our family, and then return home to Vancouver. We are very much looking forward to being back in Vancouver and spending time with our congregational family once again. But on the other hand, we're sad to leave Australia. This coming Shabbat, we begin to read the third book in the Torah. We read Parshat Vayikra, the book of Leviticus. Parshat Vayikra, Leviticus, begins with the word Vayikra, that God called out to Moses. And this word Vayikra ends with a small aleph, written in the Torah in a smaller way than normal. The rabbis ask, why is it this way? And one of the answers that is given is that the small aleph reflects Moses' humility. We know that Moses is the most humble person to have ever walked the face of the earth. This small aleph is reflective of that fact. It's a lesson for all of us that we all need to be humble. And one of the ways that we are humble, one of the ways that we gain humility in this world, I believe, is by knowing who we are. We know who we are when we have a sense of our own Judaism, our sense of our own religiosity. And for us, as a member of conservative synagogue, I would suggest it also may mean knowing what conservative Judaism is. I think about this particularly because I am here in Australia, where there is an incredible Jewish community with great vibrancy, as I've spoken about over the course of the last couple months. But there are only 2 conservative synagogues in all of Australia. One small one here that is part of a larger Reform synagogue, and a small conservative synagogue in Melbourne. And so because of that, I've had many people ask me, what is conservative Judaism while I've been here in Australia? I wonder if we, the members of a conservative synagogue, could answer that question and truly know what conservative Judaism is. And so I've decided to share with you today 10 facts, important facts about conservative Judaism that are in no particular order. Fact number 1. Conservative Judaism is a Zionist movement. In fact, we are the movement that has unity in being Zionist, and we have always been so. From the very first day of the Zionist movement, we as conservative Jews and as a conservative movement have had unity in believing that there must be a Jewish nation in the Jewish land of Israel. Number 2, Solomon Schechter was not the founder of conservative Judaism. He was extremely important. In fact, he was the founder of some conservative organizations, and he was the one who truly saved the Jewish Theological Seminary, the conservative rabbinical school, when it was about to go under in the early 20th century. And he is considered one of the heroes of conservative Judaism, but he's not the founder. Number 3, conservative Judaism believes that mitzvot are obligatory commandments. We as conservative Jews believe that one who is Jewish is obligated to follow all mitzvot. Mitzvot that are between us and God, and mitzvot that are between us and other human beings. Number 4, conservative Judaism believes that Halachah must continuously develop to meet the needs of the time. We as conservative Jews believe that Halachah, Jewish law, must be exactly what it says. Something that is holach, something that goes and continues to develop, just as Halachah, just as Jewish law has always done. Number 5, conservative Jews have and study the same Torah as all other Jews, including Reform and Orthodox Jews. We do have different chumashim, that is, different books that have the Torah text printed in them, that have different interpretations and different insights, but we have exactly the same Torah and read from exactly the same Torah. Number 6, conservative Judaism seeks to encourage Jewish practice and connection, and therefore meets Jews where they are. So, for example, even though as a movement we don't want to see Jews driving on Shabbat, we do understand that there are many Jews who do drive on Shabbat, and so our synagogues have parking lots that are open to enable Jews to arrive to services even on Shabbat. Number 7, conservative Judaism is an umbrella organization. We have many different types of people who are involved in our movement. For example, we have some conservative synagogues that are not egalitarian, that women don't participate equally, and most of our synagogues are egalitarian. Most of our synagogues do have women participating equally. And there are also conservative Jews within our movement who belong to our synagogues who believe that the Torah was written by God, and there are Jews who are members of our synagogue who do not believe that the Torah was written by God. Number 8, the Committee on Jewish Law and Standards is the decider of Jewish law for conservative Judaism in North America. When we have an important decision to be made, we go to what is known as the CJLS, a committee that meets in order to decide Jewish law for the conservative movement. Every individual synagogue, though, has the ability to decide whether or not they want to follow a particular decision of the CJLS. Number 9, there are conservative synagogues around the world. Outside of North America, the conservative synagogues are known as Masorti synagogues and are part of the Masorti movement. But it's important to understand that conservative Judaism has its largest number of adherents in North America. And finally, number 10, conservative conversions that are done outside of Israel are recognized by the Israeli government for the sake of Aliyah. And not only that, but someone who is converted in a conservative synagogue, their conversion is recognized by all other conservative synagogues and all other conservative rabbis who are part of conservative synagogues around the world. Again, these are just 10 facts about conservative Judaism, 10 important ones, and there are many others. Shabbat Shalom.